Peace family, Tiffany Hills popping in with a video. So, I live for the moments, those magical moments where it's just, spirit just blows your mind and you just be thinking, you just be minding your business and, going along with your day. Well, I just got done with recording a podcast. Just uploaded it. Um, Beautiful sister by the name of Motha.civs. Um, the podcast is entitled Living Water. Just when you think you know all there is to know about what we know, because we know everything. I'm woke. You know what I'm saying? I'm conscious. But when I tell you the passing of the mantle is real, when I tell you, how you don't look for little Bobby Hemmitt's or um, Delwood Blair or Dr. Jewel, all the people who have changed my life significantly, all the masters. But you do look for their energy. You do look for someone who is carrying on their legacy, but doing it their way. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not, they are very much their person, but they're carrying, the torch. This sister to me is Delbert Blair and Dr. Jewel. I'm just blown away. When I say don't walk, don't run, don't even fly, just transport yourself over to that podcast. I'm about to listen to the playback. I always live to listen to the playbacks. But the passing of the mantle is real. Lately, the ancestors have been showing up for me, my family, my great grands, great uncles, great. I've been looking at my face and seeing my grandmother. Now, back there is the apple tree I was telling y'all about in the previous video. Now, my grandmother's maiden name is McIntosh. And so when I bit into the apple, I was like, oh, this reminds me of a McIntosh apple. Because, you got Gala here. We got Gala, McIntosh, Honeycrisp, Granny Smith. And the McIntosh is, one of my favorites. So Granny Smith is really up there. But the Honeycrisp is probably my favorite. And so I bit into it. I was like, this reminds me of a McIntosh apple. And so my cousin, his mom just passed not too long ago. So she was the matriarch of the family. And he actually did the family tree on the paternal side. And so he just sent me recently, because there was a lot going on with him, his passing of his dad, his mom. And so I just appreciate him even remembering to send the information. He didn't have to. It was just something he did out of the kindness of his heart, because I wanted to carry on the family tree, plugging everybody else in, the younger generations. So he sent me a picture of my great uncles and aunts on the hill side. Now, these were very affluent people. And he shared that they didn't approve of him marrying my grandmother. And when I tell you, like, my grandmother, I'm hurt all day. Like, legs, like she's had a lazy eye. And I can, like, if I can let myself get stressed enough, my eye will do that. But she was, her name was Etna. Here she come. B, you can land on me, but just don't sting, please. So anywho, my grandmother Edna, she was everything. She was a jack of all trades. She did hair. She made people's meals. She was a baker. She had her own garden. She was everything. So she passed the mantle on to me, the spiritual energy. And so when my cousin sent that picture, it was like the aunt, that picture. I may use it as a thumbnail. But they passed, like, now I am the record keeper. So she passed that on to me. So the tree back there and the apples and her just giving this energy to me. I'll share a little bit with you. When my grandmother was younger, her mother died and her aunt was to raise her. Well, her aunt did hair. Her aunt was very, very mean to her. This particular aunt didn't have any children or anything. So when she would go to the salon to do hair, she would be gone all day. But before she left, she would lock my grandmother. Back then, they had like areas under the porch where they used it for whatever the case may be. It was almost like a basement or whatever. But she would lock my grandmother in this basement or under this porch for hours. And it really pisses me off. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I come across this particular ancestor, she got some explaining to do. She would lock my grandmother. My grandmother was probably 6 or 8 at this time, and she would do this and lock my grandmother under the porch until she got home when the fuck she felt like it. And so when I talk about my ancestors, and I understand that they could be mentally have some things going wrong with them. I have to really stay in a space of, let me just see the holistic picture. But locking her and she was the only child. My grandmother, she didn't have any siblings, so it was just her. So she's under this porch with probably spiders and all type of bugs or whatever the case may be. But she was very, very, very talented, very, 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 very beautiful. And so like the hell side, like we coming together, like the younger generation. I'm gonna talk loud because that thing I didn't understand how loud it is, but when the AC kick on, it'd be super loud. But when they didn't approve of him marrying my grandmother, because I know my grandmother, she didn't, I know she wasn't wealthy, but my grandmother was wealthy spiritually, and she could probably run circles around all of them, you know what I'm saying? And so when we talk about Black Wall Street, and when we talk about, these cities that we had that was, flourishing as Black folks, we still got to understand that a lot of them shunned, the lower class, who they considered to be lower class Blacks. So you got to understand that there's a great healing going on. It's just not like, we was doing this and we was doing that, but we were also, shunning our own people. You know what I'm saying? We were doing things that were not right. So on all levels, we got to heal. So with the father side of my father's side, it's a lot of secrets, dark secrets, but we are healing. Like this generation, like me, my cousin, my sisters, like we got together and we had a meeting, you know what I'm saying, with my aunt to understand why these things would happen in our family and these things. And so we healed. So whatever we're passing on to the younger generations, they'll be able to flourish because we cut off those generational curses. So when I say the passing of the mantle, like my grandmother, I feel her loving all over me. I feel like I'm one of them people who I'm going to fight. You know what I'm saying? If you're wrong, you know what I mean? Ancestors and those of y'all who, let some of these things go on, even with incest in the family and molestation and sexual things that happen in our families, you know what I'm saying? These things have to be healed and corrected, but they have to be brought to the light. We just can't be like, we were flourishing and we some shit we was doing, because it wouldn't have gotten passed on to later generations. So let's just heal these things, but let's not leave try to just airbrush everything and make it so pretty, because it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Even though just because we have money and all these material things, but actually on the lower end, that's the lowest, you know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be rich in spirit. And so as we return to our sacred ways and our ancient ways, just remember, when you're healing your maternal or paternal side and you have all these feelings coming up, or maybe anger or resentment, these are things coming up that didn't get a chance to be healed, that is healing through you. So the mantle have been passed on to you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to carry on, and you got to do it with integrity. You got to do it with dignity. You got to do it with character. You have to do it with the utmost respect. You know what I'm saying? Because, at this stage, you know what I'm saying, everything must be destroyed to be rebuilt on a most amazing, solid foundation. You know what I'm saying? So with my grandmother had a very, very, very sad childhood. It brings tears to my eyes. But I know I am her redemption. Her grandchildren are her redemption. Her, my cousins. Like when I tell y'all, my grandmother could cook, y'all don't even understand. Like, and so my cousin, let me sit up some that son. My cousin, how old is my cousin? My cousin got to be early 50s. I tell you, she is the replica of my grandmother's cooking. My God. And so it's like we've gone through so much loss and so much. We only have, out of the 9, she had 9 children. It's only 2 left. And my uncle just visited, the one that made me pray. Him and his wife just visited. So we're healing all of these things. We're talking about it. We're pretty much going through our rite of passage. And so with my grandmother showing up, she's going to have, I feel like a very powerful channel. Maybe it's just for the family. Maybe it's for everyone. I don't mind sharing. But the mantle has been passed. So please get over there to that podcast and be blessed, because it's a blessing for you. It's a gift for you. And I'm gonna make sure y'all get everything y'all got coming through my gateway. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no respected persons. This is our information. This is our inheritance. And that's another thing. The family tree is your inheritance. So I'm a record keeper now. The record keeping has been passed on to me. So I accept this mantle. I don't do it with a light heart because I know it's heavy. Because some family members, you just want to choke. You know what I mean? You just can't really get along because they be all over the place. But I'll have to deal with it from a space of grace as we plan this family reunion. If you want to like, you want to give my greatest kryptonite when you say family reunion. I'm like, oh shit. But now it's like, if we're healing, why not? You know what I mean? If we're coming from a healed space and continuing to heal, it shouldn't be kryptonite no more, too. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you, Mother Cia, for blessing me and for what she's about to bless y'all with. The jewels she dropped, the ritual she dropped. Please enjoy, family. I love y'all, and I'll be back. Y'all know how to get in touch with me. The link to the podcast is always in the description box. Y'all know how to reach out to me at my email for your fairy readings, spiritual consultations, dream interpretations, inspirational, tailor-made voice notes, and your fairy dust. I will see you in the next video.